I am ready to go.
Fantastic. I'm also ready to go. And there we go. That's good. All right, here we go. We start in 3, 2, 1. Oh, and by the way, this is because we've all been asking for it. So enjoy this, okay? This intro's for all of you who've been asking for this for the last 2 weeks. Here you go.
You've got your sunrise, you caught a prize, you're making your Johnson. Party nights, summer whites, your friends and your Johnson. Rooster tails, water trails, your kids and your Johnson. Saturday nights, distant lights, your girl and your Johnson.
You and your Johnson, a way of life for over 50 years.
Time.
The morning stream is part of a nutritious breakfast kids have grown to love. They're pretty good, I guess. Yeah, they're okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS, the morning stream for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2019. Scott Johnson here. Brian Ibbett there. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. Got my chai tea. Got my day ahead of me. It's just
Yeah.
me and my friend and my Johnson all ready to go.
Is that, can we, it feels like that's the theme for when Brian Dunaway. It's me, Dunaway, and my Johnson.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, people have been asking me to play that for some reason, so there it is. I played it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I also capped this out.
You and your Johnson.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes. Or this one.
Your friends and your Johnson.
That's a good one. Use that when I need it. So, yeah.
About what age were you when you first heard that the word Johnson could also be used for part of the male anatomy? Like, what age did you realize that?
That was probably, it's probably 14 or 15, I think.
Yeah.
It was well into my teen years.
I'm trying to remember if that was a thing, that I certainly don't remember it either as like a little kid. And we had, as a elementary school, early junior high. We didn't have middle school. We had junior high. And never heard that term, but I heard a lot of other terms for peni.
Yeah.
For creamy peen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if it came about at a certain time during our lifetimes, or if it was just, one of those terms that wasn't used until
It feels like a World War
reached a certain
II.
age.
It feels like a World War II era thing to me, and it just carried forward with that generation. To me, it does. I could be wrong, but it seems like it's like, all right, men, we're gonna get some Nazis. Let go of your Johnsons and grab your guns. Like that kind of thing seems very old school to me. And what it felt like to me is like grandparents and maybe parents would say it when I was a kid, but it was well out of favor. To the point that this 1980s, outboard motor company would actually do this commercial with a straight face and not realize what they're saying, so like it.
Yeah, I mean, they had nobody on their staff who said, "Wait, hold on."
Yeah, exactly. And it still feels so old school. It's just like, yeah, Johnson. Like it just doesn't seem like it's from this century at all. But I still here's when it came back though, flooding back as to why I can't just ignore it. In the year 2000. In the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
I used to love that bit. But that year, Nick was born. Nicholas, my youngest, and he was born. I guess it was April of that year, May of that year, whatever it is. And right before he was born, we had a handful of names, and the one that was winning, the one we almost called him, was Harry.
Wow.
We almost called him Harry Johnson. And we liked Harrison, like a cute little name, you know? It seemed great. And
Harrison's a great name.
Yeah, we came this close to putting that on the forum, and then somebody went, you realize what that says when you say that. And I was like,
so someone did to you what we're surprised no one did for this outboard motor company.
yeah, somebody was there to stop me before I did it. Now, I hadn't spent, I don't know, thousands of dollars on a commercial yet, and so maybe that's, it wouldn't have mattered if someone told those guys or not. But in this case, Nick was almost cursed with, the name Harry Johnson, which wouldn't have been that big a deal. Like, I don't think that his growing up, as it turns out, I don't think anyone in that generation has any idea that this is a thing. I don't think Generation Z knows that. They don't know.
I don't think so either. That's why I think it's not necessarily a date that term came about. I think it's an age of the listener, right? Or
Yeah.
the age of the kid that's aware of it.
Right.
Because I think it was around way before you and I ever heard of the term. But it was, for both of us, it was right around that same mid-teenage time that we heard, oh, Johnson's a term for that? Okay, well, I knew about pecker and dork, but you know.
Dork. See, dork never had that meaning growing up for me. Dork was always just like, you're a goofball, you're a nerd, you're a geek.
And that's certainly what I feel like it's more more in terms of, but when the movie Heavy Metal came out, remember the animated movie Heavy Metal?
Oh yeah.
There's one scene where, you know, what's the guy's name?
John
Dan,
Candy.
I think is his name.
Okay.
And he's this nerdy kid, but then he wakes up and he's like all buff and muscular in a sci-fi post-apocalyptic landscape. And you still hear his inner voice is the nerdy kid. And he says, well, I wasn't about to go walking around with my dork hanging out.
Oh, right. I forgot that's in that. I
Yeah.
forgot that's John Candy.
That's right. That was John Candy's character.
Yeah,
That's
John
right.
Candy's in that, right? That's him? I think that's him.
I think so. I think that's him. I think he does the voice of the nerdy kid.
Yeah, that was what a weird. Have we not filmed Sack that, or did we?
No, we so need to film Sack that.
How did we not done that? I mean, Heavy Metal was that. Let me tell you a tale. When I was in
Okay.
junior high, if I went to the comic book shop, I'd be lying
Yeah.
if I didn't say I was drawn to the Heavy Metal magazine. Because
Sure.
there it was, you know, with like a big booby lady on it. It would be like a big,
Right.
warrior woman lady and all of her stuff, but she was scantily clad. And I had heard tale that inside there was drawings of naked people, you know?
Sure.
And so
sure.
I would flip through there, and then my mom would go, Scotty, what are you doing? And I'd say, I'm looking at Morbius,
I
or
feel
whatever
like
his
it was
name was.
all, more,
Not Morbius. What was his name?
Mobius, no R.
Morbius.
But yeah, I was thinking like Boris Vallejo was,
Yeah.
I mean, Mobius was big involved with the Heavy Metal movie, but I just seem to remember Boris Vallejo big involvement with like all the naked booby lady artwork in Heavy Metal magazine.
No, he was everywhere, and he was so recognizable. Like you'd see when the first Vacation movie came out, and the cover, he did the poster art for that, which is silly
Right,
because it's just
right.
like, you know, Chevy Chase holding up the sandwich,
Yes.
I think, and his
Right.
wife's all crouched down
Good
on
play
his
on
leg.
the
and-
Star Wars.
yeah, it was great. But you recognized his stuff everywhere because, again, boobies and butts. It was boobies and butts. And
Right.
you know, when you're 13, your boobies and butts are it's a thing
It's-
that's attracts
funny.
people. You know.
And it's funny, A, that we bring up Heavy Metal because that's going to come up later, and B, that we bring up Vacation because that's going to come up later for me on Coverville. It's going to be, well, let me just check, because if you've already got it in the brought to you by, no, okay, good. Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac is turning 70, and by far his most well-known song as a solo artist is Holiday Road.
I love that song.
Which, me too, and it's such a great song. And I mean, does it? Part of me wants to say, I know it doesn't mention Christmas, and I don't even think it was played in the Christmas Vacation film.
I think it's in the big. Oh no, you're right. Because in the Christmas Vacation one, it's a different song.
Yeah,
And-
it's that
It's the
that weird poppy. Christmas Vacation.
It starts with a cartoon and then it bleeds into the when they're
Yes.
driving down the road getting the tree. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but I want to make Holiday Road an official holiday song because it is about like going to visit grandma and stuff like that on the holidays.
You have my vote. You have my vote.
It's making the official Christmas song. So that's coming up later on Coverville.
Where's that?
Is, cover of that?
A couple of years ago, you played a really good cover on here from somebody of Holiday Road that I love.
Might be Matt Pond, PA.
Maybe. Let's see. Holiday Road.
The version I'm playing today is one I haven't played ever before, neither on TMS nor on Coverville, and it's awesome. It's one I never knew existed, and people will be surprised how much I like it because of where it comes from.
That's not it.
That ain't it.
That just says Holiday.
I could
can't
actually
find it.
tell you. I could see which ones I've played on TMS. I probably have played most of them on TMS because.
I just remember being
we
kind of
get
a
a lot of-
trippy, kind of a quiet, trippy one. Like,
Oh, then it's probably. It's either the only one that it's funny. The only one that I'm finding in that I've played before on the show is the one by a band called The Limp.
the Limp. Back to the Johnson.
The
here.
Limp.
Okay.
That's right, but it's not a slow. That is a poppy one. As a matter of fact, I think that one even includes audio from the movie
Oh, interesting. Okay.
in the cover, which is very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't find it. I thought I could have sworn I saved it or kept it. It may have been before my big hard drive wipe of 2013 or whatever it was. But
I'd be surprised if I haven't played the Matt Pond PA version on here before I started keeping track of what covers I've played.
yeah, there's something about that song. Can't quite put my finger on it. But happy birthday, happy 70th to Lindsey Buckingham, who I thought was the other blonde
Angry-
chick for the longest time. I like, oh, you got your landslide lady. There's your landslide
Stevie
lady.
Nicks?
Yeah, Stevie
Right,
Nicks.
right.
And
You
then
thought
right-
Christine McVie was Lindsey Buckingham.
Yes, I did. For a long time, I thought Lindsey Buckingham was this other chick in the band, and then I didn't know who that guy on guitar was. I just thought he was on the guitar, and I also didn't know that Mick Fleetwood had the last name Fleetwood for years and years and years. It's embarrassing,
Right. I mean, they're basically, Mick Fleetwood and Christine McVie, or really John McVie, were the two people where the name Fleetwood Mac came from.
Right.
And Buckingham and Nicks they weren't even a member of Fleetwood Mac at the beginning. They came in about 3 or 4 albums in. Peter Green was part of it. Bob Welch, the late great Bob Welch, was part of Fleetwood Mac for a while before Buckingham Nicks really got their heyday in the band. But they were a duo that were just playing in California. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. They were a couple, and then they joined the band, and everybody started cheating with everybody else.
Yes, they did.
That's a band biopic. We had our Bohemian Rhapsody. We had Rocket Man. I'd actually like to see a Fleetwood Mac early California pop days biopic.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
I think that would be really cool.
That would be really good. I assume that everybody in that band has slept with everyone in that band. That's my thinking.
I think so, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like gear shifts. It's like
Yep.
like they just rotate.
Depends on the time. What would you call? You call that movie Rumors? You just call it Rumors.
You
The
call
Fleetwood
it
Mac story.
Rumors. You call it Go Your Own Way. You call it The Chain. Oh, The Chain is a good.
The Chain's good. Go Your Own Way. Landslide's good. There's lots of songs.
Yeah.
Oh man, we've just made your movie for you, Hollywood.
Who do we cast?
Yeah.
Let's see. I think you cast Finn Wolfhard as Lindsey Buckingham.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was going to say this one last thing about Christine McVie. Her the Rumors album, which is just about a perfect record. It's an amazing record. Yeah. There's only one song on there that ruins it all and should be burned and ripped from it forever.
Oh.
And it's one of hers.
Oh, which one is it?
It's her song, and it's called. Hold on. Where's the album? I got to look at the album. Formative Years, Band Discography, Studio album. Here we go. Okay, so we got Rumors. Just looking at the track
starts with
list.
Secondhand News, then Dreams, Never Going Back Again.
Yeah.
Two big Lindsey Buckingham almost solo songs right there. Don't Stop.
It's Don't Stop.
Is that it?
I
Don't Stop.
hate Don't Stop. Hate it. I wanted to do the opposite of its name. I want it to stop. Oh, it's a bad song, you guys. It doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
Maybe at the time it was all
Really,
right. But
I'm amazed that one bothers you and You Make Loving Fun doesn't. Like, I feel like You Make Loving Fun is like such a little throwaway. And I've talked about this on the show, but boy,
maybe it's Oh Daddy. Maybe it's Oh Daddy.
Oh yeah, Oh Daddy is
all the McPhee songs are bad. McVie, sorry. Get her name all wrong. The lady.
It's in honor of Nicole, who's coming on later.
Yeah. Lindsey Buckingham of the band Fleetwood Mac is and her song Oh Daddy.
Right.
But yeah, that's a bad song. It's real bad, and everything else on here is brilliant. But her contributions have never worked for me. Although that Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies, I think from another album.
Yeah.
That's great. Nothing wrong with that song. Yeah.
Not at all. Yeah.
Go for it, Christine McVie. Let your freak fly. All right. Brian, yesterday we got an update on the old insurance. Let me draw your blood 4,000 times. Oh my gosh, you have high blood sugar,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah
right.
thing. We thought we'd done what we needed to do. We got a glucose test. They said, give us that. We did. We handed it in. As of yesterday, they now say, you need to go in and get another blood test. This wasn't the one we needed. Oh, well, maybe you should have said what one you needed.
This wasn't the one we needed. What kinds of different blood are you trying to get from me? I only have one kind of blood.
I know, and there's like vials of it sitting over there. Test what you got already, or tell me if it's a very specific kind of piece of lab work, then say what it is. Instead, all you said was, test your sugar. You mean a glucose test? Yes. That's what you said last time. Now they're saying, go in and get like an A4B, I don't know what it is, some kind of A1 steak sauce brand, I don't know what it is, some kind of new thing. So now I got to go back in there.
Saying, huh?
Yeah, A1C. I got to go back in for that, even though I think I've already done one of those like maybe a month ago. But they're not going to count that one. They got to have a new one. So I got to go in there. I got to pay for that. I got to get that done.
Dice Tomato says there are a bunch of different tests. They can't use the same vial for all of it, which seems kind of silly because
it's the same
it's
blood.
not like
it's
the same blood. Exactly. Do they use the entire vial, or is it just like, oh, drop a few little drops on a slide, look at it, or put it into a little beep bop boop 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 machine?
So
that's what I figure.
They say it
All
requires.
medical things are, by the way.
So TV's yeah, the beep bop boop of the medical world is a well-known
exactly.
thing. Says
just
different.
put a drop of blood in the machine. Beep, bop, boop, boop, boop,
He says
boop,
different
beep, beep,
tests
boop,
have
boop.
different requirements for volume and also what they have in the tube to prep for the sample. So like you got to put stuff in the tube, I guess.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
okay.
so all right, fine. So they're gonna do that. But are you all insane?
It was in the vial the whole time.
Can they settle though? Can someone over there just come to a consensus and say, here's what you need to tell Scott Johnson what he needs to provide for us, and then have it written down somewhere so that I go in and they give me exactly what I'm supposed to get instead of all this jumping around. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. I don't even know when I'm going in. Probably tomorrow, I guess. I got to go tomorrow. I don't know when. And I can't eat until I go in, so I'm going to have to like fast all morning and then do this all again. And then even then, how do I know they got the right deal? I don't know. They're supposed to be the ones that know, not me. Now they're going to have high blood pressure because I'm pissed. We'll see.
Now they're going to have boiling blood in the vial.
Well, now they're saying you don't need to fast for an A1C test. They just told me I did, Necco Wolf. They just said I had to fast again for this. Oh. So what if I eat? What if I don't eat and that's bad because now I go in there and it skews the results in another direction because I didn't eat? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to call them again.
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. Yes.
I'm going to call them again because I'm so annoyed. I could freaking fart blood. All right, Brian, you're going to the ballet, I heard.
I'm going to the ballet tonight. Or is it? So do you pronounce it the ballet or the ballet?
I'm
going to the ballet.
I say I'm going to the ballet.
So the emphasis on the second syllable.
Yeah, ballet. Did you go to the ballet? Yeah, I do it on the second. You're right.
Oh, well, you kind of, in that one, you kind of did it in both.
Did I do it different? Let's see.
The ballet.
Let me just think of a scenario. So Kim walks in and says, "Hey, I got free tickets to the ballet." That's how I would hear it. The ballet. The
Okay.
ballet.
The ballet.
Yeah.
That's how I say it too.
Yeah.
So they are getting into podcasting, and they hired me to help get them off the ground as far as getting set up for podcasting and how to do interviews of like touring ballerinas and stuff like that for this. So part of that is giving Tina and me tickets to a special event thing tonight, like a so Don Quixote starts on the 4th, I guess Friday.
Yeah.
And goes for a week.
I didn't know that was a ballet. That's crazy.
I didn't either. Yeah. I don't know is there going to be a guy who's being a windmill? Look on the windmill.
Will there be a donkey that's like a guy in a donkey suit who's tiptoeing around?
It's not Donkey Hote.
No, he rides one though. I don't mean
Sancho
that.
Sancho Panza rides a donkey.
Yeah,
yes.
someone rides a donkey. So the donkey, that's all I mean, is the guy's never off a donkey.
His name isn't Donkey Hote.
Yes. For the record, I meant his animal, but yes, go ahead.
I know. I was just giving you a hard time. Yeah, I don't think I've been to operas. I've been to plays. I don't think I've ever been to a ballet. And this is like it's like a dress rehearsal, but it's like a reception where we're going to be hanging out with the performers, and there's going to be some live music and tapas and stuff like that.
Is that portion of the evening, does that feature the male dancers with their big bulgy unit packages walking around?
I don't know if they're gonna be wearing their little tighties, their little stretch pants over their
Man, I hope so.
groins.
I hope so much. I hope that we have stories on Thursday that are just filled with donkey pouch. A donkey pouch. There's that word again. But I want. I want these
donkey
guys,
knuckle.
Yes, donkey knuckle. I want these guys walking around with their big donkey knuckles and bumping into you, going, "Yes, well, the ballet you see is a." Yeah, that's what I want.
I hope nobody from the Colorado Ballet is listening to me to us talk about this. There goes my involvement with them whatsoever.
Yeah.
Brian, we'd like maybe you to not show up tonight.
Yeah, we rescind those tickets, and please never come here again. Wow. Well, that sounds like fun.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to the ballet before, so it's going to be interesting.
Free tapas.
Free, yeah, I'm not, whatever. Tapas is tapas, but...
right. It's basically finger food, right? I actually don't know if I've ever had tapas.
It is. I bet you have. I mean, it's things like little empanadas and...
Yeah.
It's probably like little tacos or something. I don't know.
Like little fingery foods things.
Little fingery foods, yes.
All right.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Small plate tapas are small plates.
Oh, okay.
Right. Not necessarily finger food, but
all right.
Let's see. Oh, so Act 1. While an adventure driven by the vision of his love, Don Quixote arrives in a small town in Spain with his squire, Sancho Panza. We're going to talk to Sancho Panza about his involvement with Act 2. Don Quixote and
it's like it's your Ken Kratz as if he had too much caffeine, like he's on Fourth Monster.
What?
Yeah.
You think my Ken Kratz?
I'm just saying they're related. I'm saying
they're
both good and they're both recognizable for who they are. But if you just gave your Ken Kratz a bunch of caffeine, he would sound a lot like your version of him. It's pretty good.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's my Ira Glass. Just I just dropped my Ira Glass down a few volume levels and.
Yeah, there you go. It just gets quiet.
Lip smacky to make it more Ken Kratz. I guess that guy, Steven, what's his name for Making a Murderer?
Yeah.
There's talk that he might be getting out.
Yeah, there's some
that there was
confession.
Somebody who came forward in another prison.
Yeah, some confession from
very Shawshanky, right?
Very Shawshanky. Oh yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. I wonder if so that probably means we're going to get a third series too. That'll
probably
dig into that thing, but
which I thought they were going to be doing anyway because the second season didn't really make any movement.
No,
right?
it was almost just like, hey, we're still here, but don't expect a big ending to this. Like we're just kind of here still. And they had that lady that looks like looks like Ted Danson's wife through most of it. Talking to us.
Steve Bergen, yes.
Yeah,
Virgin.
and then at the end, they didn't do anything. So third one would be good follow-up, especially if him and the kid get out. I say kid, he's 28 or something.
Stephen Avery, Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Oh, wow, yeah. 3 hours ago, Brendan Dassey filed for clemency. So there's constantly stuff happening with these two. Wow.
There's movement.
There's movement. Moving a murderer.
A quick shout out to one of ours, Tom Peck, who I saw this on Facebook and I've talked to him this morning. His mom sadly passed away after a 9-year fight with cancer, which is a long time.
That is.
So I guess in one way, probably grateful you had her as long as you did. But that is super sad, and we just wanted him to know that is a sucky deal, and we're feeling for you, and we hope you and your family are doing okay, because man, nothing about that is good. I don't like it. Cancer can F off, can F right off. All right, Brian, time for us to dive into the following thing.
This is your radio news.
No, what are we doing? We're getting Dunaway. What am I doing here? Yeah, this is all
the news
wrong.
is Dunaway is coming.
Yeah, Dunaway's coming hot. Breaking news, everybody. Brian Dunaway on his way in. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Scott will have this fixed. Don't you worry your little heads. I am a little behind on that. All right, here we go. Coming in hot. Here's this. That's right. Brian Dunaway on the line all the way from South Carolina. Hello, Brian.
Oh, sunny South Carolina. Hi, Scott and Brian.
Hi.
Hello, Brian.
Is it sunny?
How you feeling?
Yeah, how are you
Oh, I
feeling?
feel a lot better.
Yeah?
Can't you tell?
Yeah, you sound better.
Well, yeah, a little.
A little bit, right? I mean, it's
Plus,
not.
hopefully I sound better. And
You've said 3 words, and I'm supposed to glean from those 3 words that you're feeling better? Jeez. Yeah.
Oh, geez, man. I mean, if I said, "Oh, hi, Scott and Brian," I'm pretty sure that's only 3 words. 4, but
Okay. All right.
5. Okay.
It's a good point.
5.
It's a good point.
4 in a conjunction.
We take your point. Hey, it's good to have you here as always. Brian Dunaway, of course, the man about town when it comes to these little competitions we do on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's called Battle Royale, and we are going to accept a call now from a listener and find out if they have what it takes to pick the proper winner today and compete for prizes that could be theirs. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Ian, not I Am Sci-Fi. It's Pigeon Pucks in the chat room.
Whoa, I like 2 Ians. That's cool. Yeah. Wait, you're the Benjamin that we're always talking to in there then.
No,
Oh, wait, what?
Pigeon Pucks.
No?
Oh, Pigeon Pox, did you say?
Pigeon
Yeah,
Pucks.
Abandoned Cause
Right
used to
there.
be my nickname. But yeah, Pigeon Pucks now.
Okay. Well, hey, either way, you're like new to the call thing. That's cool. It's good to have you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, Ian, yes, that is the nano leaf behind me.
The nano leaf. Where? Oh,
Yes.
did he give you that? Is that from
He
him?
just asked that right before he called in. He said,
No,
is
I
that
was
the
just
nano leaf?
asking
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I keep seeing that on Instagram ads. There's always an ad page for those on Instagram. They really want me to buy one. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ian, it's good to have you here. Brian's going to explain how this works, what you could win, and all that. Brian, take it away.
That's right. Ian, I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win is going to go to the other player. Your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for a pair of CDs from Dizzy Box 9 and Trend Selva. Yes, I still have a few more of those, as well as a copy of Yoku's Island Express. Yoku's Island Express.
That game's amazing. I have that game in 2 places. I like it that much.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let me give you an idea. You know how like
Please do.
You know how the Rayman games are really lush and beautiful and lots of trees and I don't know, those newer
Yeah.
Rayman games are really pretty. Imagine that
Yeah.
kind of background so it looks that good, but the game is basically this little bug thing that pushes around a stone, a little white stone, and the little white stone acts as a pinball in certain parts of it. It's all very floral and like it's a jungle and stuff, but you'll get into these places where it's got flipper pads and you're trying to hit these objects and you're basically playing small versions of pinball as you go throughout the thing to unlock puzzles, to unlock the next levels, to do this stuff. It's like a little dung beetle, Captain Kipper says, and that's true. That's exactly what it is. It's great. It is a delightful, wonderful
So
game.
in other words, it is a dung beetle, and that's not a pinball.
Right.
And yes, I enjoy it as well.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's really good.
Well, I'm sorry, Ian. I'm going to be giving you a different game because apparently I'm going to keep this code for myself.
I see.
Just kidding. Just kidding. That's the game you're going to get. If, and this is a big if, Ian, if you predict correctly who's going to win this. Our topic today comes to us from Sandra from Finland. Hello, Sandra. She goes by the name Babyfish in the Tadpool for obvious reasons.
Sure. Baby fish.
All right. I have in my hand a list of the 50 most followed Twitter accounts as
God.
as of about 2 weeks ago, September 20th, 2019.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let's see. Obviously, I want you to name as many of these as you can, but I'm wondering if I can let you buy a hint if we get stuck. No, there's enough on here.
You know what? I think I'm gonna. I feel pretty good about this. I think I
Yeah,
can do it.
I think you're gonna do great.
Yeah.
I thought I'm
all
gonna
right.
get 2 or 3 at least. Yeah, exactly.
So top 50 Twitter accounts is what we're looking for. Ian, who do you think is going to win this one, and who would you like to go first?
Ian, you
Did
there
mute
still?
Ian?
We lose him?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh,
Sorry,
he's
I
there.
can't hear
Oh, there
Brian,
we
so I just turned my thing up.
Oh,
But,
you couldn't.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, well, that's weird. You should be able to hear Brian fine. That's weird. Anyway, sorry. What was your answer there?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Scott to win and Brian to go first.
Scott to win.
Oh.
Brian to go first.
Excellent.
Yeah, I like my chances actually. All
Right.
right,
Now, I
Brian.
haven't looked at this. I haven't looked at this recently, so I'm just gonna kind of. I go to Twitter, but I don't read much on Twitter anymore, so I don't really keep up with many of the people. But I know that Justin Bieber used to really rock it on there. And I
Justin-
can't imagine that he's dropped too far, right?
The Biebs. Yeah,
Biebs.
Biebs is still on here. 107 million followers.
Wow.
Canadian musician and number 3 on the list.
Yeah, he had number 1 for a while. I remember that. I'm gonna go with that Kanye West feller.
Oh my gosh.
Kanye.
Uh-oh.
Kanye.
Are we done already?
No, he's got to be on
Kanye.
there.
Oh, he's got to be on here. I just have to find him.
I
In
would
the
have
top 50 is
I would have put him in top 10. He's got to be.
I
in
would
there.
have
I
put him
would've
in like.
too.
I would have a lot of unfollows.
He can't not be in the top 50.
I'm amazed that I'm not seeing him. Is he not
Wow.
on? Is he not on Twitter? Hold on. Let me
Is he not on Twitter? Did he close his account?
He has
let
to
me
be.
pull it up here.
Oh,
Hold
Kanye
on.
West is always ruining your life, Scott.
Oh my gosh, he has to be on there. I ain't saying he's a
Right,
gold
I would-
digger. Come on, he's in there.
He's
gotta
got
be
to
in
be.
there.
Let's see. I'm not finding.
He has to be.
But you
on
said
there.
you were going to give us something, right? Like a mulligan.
I might have to give you a mulligan just because.
That
I'm
doesn't.
not
That
even
is
seeing
impossible.
Kanye.
That's an impossibility that he's not in the top 10. He
And,
has
and
to.
what's
don't think he- I don't-
fascinating to me is you wouldn't pick somebody else.
Well, is he
it my
under?
turn?
Is he under Yeezy or something? One of his other
I'm
dumb
looking.
names.
It does not appear that Kanye has a. He might have left Twitter.
Well,
That's
he was.
what I'm thinking.
He was at YE. At Ye, was it? Yeah.
I'm looking at the chat. I'm looking at the chat room. TV Zigon. 29 million
I'm
followers.
looking.
I'm looking.
I'm looking.
That puts him. I'm afraid that puts him at below the bottom one on my list, which is 31 million followers. Are you sure that's his account? They're saying that's twitter.com/Kanye West. Let me see.
I have no idea. That can't.
29
Maybe
million
this doesn't-
followers, which is
Wow.
That's all.
yeah, only 29.
Is that all?
million.
Only 29 million? People
mean,
can't
all right.
stand the Kanye.
All right,
Well,
so Brian, I'm gonna give
okay,
you.
that-
I'm gonna let you decide here. We give Scott a mulligan and keep
We gotta
going,
give
'cause
him.
if-
We gotta give him a mulligan. No,
All right.
we got to because I gotta get in. I gotta get in that Kim Kardashian West, which I don't, or West Kardashian. I don't understand why Scott didn't pick her. She's obviously probably going to be way up higher than than Kanye.
She is. So we're giving you a mulligan, Scott. Brian says Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is number 13.
Okay.
We're back in this now. If I give you, so now Brian has a mulligan that he can use at any point. Well, he can use it at the point where he gets one wrong, really.
Right.
All right. Frick. Okay. Boy, now I got to be careful.
Yeah, you can't be all willy nilly throwing out Kanye West like you were doing before. You
Yeah.
gotta.
I was.
rein
I
it
was
in.
For the
100
record, I would have thought he would have been in the top.
I would. I was.
But-
I was just like next.
Yeah,
thought,
I was.
yeah.
I was 100% convinced he would have been up there. All right. Well, then, knowing that, let's get some political names out of the way and say Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, numero uno.
Oh, he's got number
Holy.
1. Wow, I didn't know that.
109 million followers, which really surprises me. I mean, not he's a great tweeter.
No, I just thought it'd be more celebrities and less
I would have thought so
politicians.
too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, number 1. Cool.
Yeah, I mean they call them influencers for a reason, and that's kind of what they do. I'm not even going to say that turd. I'm not even going to say his one. So I'm gonna go with. I was trying to reflect off Scott's, but I think I'm just going to go with. Okay, next I'm going to go with Ariana Grande. She's every time I'm on Twitter, someone's always
Yeah, she's
Is
always,
she
she's always shooting rockets out of her boobies.
Thank you. Next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next.
Number 10 on the list with
Oh.
66 million followers.
That's a lot.
Excellent.
Listed in here as musician and actress, and I don't know what she's acted in, but okay.
It's like
Music
okay,
videos?
I'll take your word for it.
She's acted as a
been
person
a-
who licked a donut.
She's been in something. What was she in?
Who knows?
I can't recall.
I don't know.
Luke Skywalker says Nickelodeon.
Oh, Nickelodeon. She was a Nickelodeon kid.
Of course.
Does Nickelodeon count as acting
Yes.
Well, if you know, those shows they had, I guess.
Yes.
People like that Drake and
That's
Josh
true,
business and all that.
That's true. That's true.
I'm going to go with, gotta think Taylor Swift's on there. somewhere.
Oh, that's
T Swiffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's number 5 on the list with 85 million
Wow.
followers.
Okay.
that was gonna be my other one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the other Justin Timberlake.
No. Hey.
The Timber. Still
I don't
really
like
high.
it. I don't like how you pause. Don't do that.
I have a long list I have to search through. I didn't have to search too far. He's number 12.
Okay, good.
Still on the list, just above Kim Kardashian. The JT, 65 million followers, musician and actor.
Okay.
And he truly is an actor. I
Right.
saw him in that Social Network movie.
Actor.
Britney Spears, probably.
Well, you
Brit,
really think
you
she's
think?
still up there?
Still?
Come
Still
on.
popular?
Got to
to
be
be
in the
on this
top
list?
50.
That's it, I win.
Top
I
50
win.
has to be top 50.
I win. I'm out.
I still
Number
think.
16 on the list.
Oh,
Still,
there's no way.
Yeah, she's
Still
up there.
oopsing and doing it again. 56 million followers for Britney
Now,
Spears.
are people following for the train wreck, or are they true fans?
I think they just are forgetting to unfollow is the problem.
She's all right. She's got her Vegas thing. She's fine.
She does, yes. Exactly. Well, she
She's
doesn't anymore, but yes.
fine.
Yeah. Okay, Brian, it's you.
She's fine.
It's you.
Oh, is it me turn?
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
your
me turn?
It's me
Me
turn.
turn. My turn now.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Me turn. Me go now. All right. I'm gonna say every time I turn around, Ellen DeGeneres is doing something on
Oh,
Twitter, so I
she
can't help
just
but tease
tweets
it.
like and selfies and all these things. Yeah, of course. Ellen at the Ellen Show, 79 million. She's well the way up at number 8 in the list.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, I'm still avoiding the big lump too. I don't want to say his name.
No, I would rather lose than to give
Right,
him
exactly.
his-
Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather lose than say his name. That's funny. All right, I think you probably got to put. I'm trying to think of a thing that isn't. Oh, probably Twitter, like the account, the @Twitter.
Twitter.
Oh,
Right. Twitter
What do you think
itself.
about that?
You'd think that they could give themselves more followers, but they only have 57 million followers, just putting them right in front of Britney Spears at number 15.
Nice.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
Couldn't Twitter top the list like with a click of a button? Like say, just give us all the followers.
Probably,
Right.
but then people would say that they were doing it, and then all hell would break loose.
It's like that guy that we all had to be friends with when we joined MySpace.
Mhm.
Right.
Tom? Was it
It
Tom?
was Tom.
Yeah, Tom,
yeah.
you're right. It was
Yeah.
Tom.
And not the cool
Is
Tom.
Tom up there? No. Okay, so my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, number 19 on the list. You guys are doing great, all staying in the top 20, with the exception of Kanye. Jimmy Fallon, 51 million followers on Twitter.
Yeah, he had his hand on the hair of the guy. I won't say. Okay, let's do. Oh, jeez, there's so many. Gotta have your. I'm still thinking of brands here that would be
Sure.
huge.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Probably YouTube is on there.
YouTube is definitely on
Oh,
here.
that's
They're all the
good.
way up at number 9.
Oh,
That's
top
good.
10. Okay.
72 million followers for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Brian.
I'm thinking. All right, so Jimmy Fallon was on there. How about Jimmy Kimmel? Is the Jimmy's? Is there a double Jimmy up there?
Is the Kimmel on the list?
Top 50,
Is the Kimmel on the list? I'm gonna say that there's your mulligan.
Oh no!
No, that's okay because you get one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. All
You get a
right. So
mulligan.
you've used up your mulligan.
All right, fine. Then I'll go back to my musicians. That's all the night
Well,
show.
don't say something now because now it goes back to Scott.
Yeah, it goes to
Oh,
me.
okay. Sorry. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
my
it's
bad.
all right. It's all right. Probably that Drake fella is on there.
Yeah, dadgummit. That's what I was
Sure,
gonna go
Drake.
with.
Number 33, rapper Drake.
Yeah.
Degrassi
Rapper
High
Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, he used to call me on his cell phone. I don't know what happened after that. It's not doing anymore.
All kind of fell off since then, huh?
Aw.
Yeah, it's too bad.
No.
Then you made fun of his dancing and he stopped.
Yeah. All right, Dunaway. It's you.
Oh, well, that was the musician I was going with next. There's like
Wow.
Gotta be
that's
some,
most of the big. Wow, that's most of the big ones that I know. Let me think here. How about
gotta be some rapper types in there, you know.
right rapper types? Ooh, that's a good one. Rapper types.
Rapper types.
How about Lil Wayne? He's a rapper type and he's been all over the
Lil
place lately.
Wayne.
Is he up there in the toppies?
Let's see. Number 40. I had to go to page 2 for this one.
Ooh, interesting.
All right.
Uh,
Still in it by the skin of your teeth. I almost just said keep it to page 1, but
Oh
But I
wow,
didn't.
I would have lost for sure.
you would have.
I follow him and I see tons and tons of likes and retweets on him, so I have to think he's probably there. But this is kind of a stab in the dark. But I'm only thinking of him because I just watched his documentary series on Netflix. Bill Gates, is he on there?
Ooh,
Billiam Gates. Yes, he's number 21.
Ooh, do people follow
Businessman,
Bill Gates?
philanthropist. 48 million people follow Bill Gates.
Really?
Brian Dunaway, yeah.
Interesting.
Enough to more people follow Bill Gates than Lil Wayne
Yeah, and Kanye West apparently.
and Kanye West. Yes, exactly.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm so tempted to use the name that should not be spoken.
In the,
I was all talking big before I got my mulligan, but now I'm kind of like,
yes, now you don't have a little safety
right
net.
now I don't have my little safety net. Starting to look pretty attractive, isn't he?
Yeah, your little safety Cheeto you got in your back
I
pocket.
don't know about that ever.
Right.
All right.
How about Disney? Are they in the top 50? Surely everybody follows Disney, right?
Like a brand,
Oh,
brand
that's a really
Disney.
interesting one. Yeah, I mean, as far as brands go, they are one of the biggest.
Yeah.
However,
Oh,
I'm in Star Wars. I
you don't get two mulligans.
yeah,
So it's
Nope.
not on there, not in the top 50?
Disney is
Dang
not in the top
it.
50. Yeah.
mean, really?
Oh, that's too bad. I was gonna. Can I tell you one I thought was maybe it?
Tell me when you. Yep. Tell me what your next
The
one
Wrecking
is.
Ball girl, the Miley Cyrus, probably
Oh,
on there.
Miley Cyrus, of
Miley
course.
Cyrus. Yep.
God,
just
why didn't I think of
under Bill Gates. She's number 24. 44 million. Here's the other ones.
Okay.
Rounding up your top 10, Katy Perry still at number 2, Rihanna at number 4, Cristiano Ronaldo, a footballer from Portugal, number 6, Lady Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why did I not do Lady Gaga?
I know.
Duh.
President Voldemort is number 11. Selena Gomez is number 14.
He hates that, by the way, that he's not even in the top 10. He hates it.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just hates it.
CNN number 17, Shakira 18.
My news places.
Narendra Modi, who's a prime minister of the prime minister, not just a prime minister of India, but the prime minister of India, number 20. Then we got Neymar, New York Times, Jennifer Lopez, LeBron James, Bruno Mars, CNN, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, CNN's on there
Oprah.
twice because they have breaking
Breaking news
is a
and
separate one.
CNN. Yeah.
Same with BBC breaking news. Neil Horan, Shah Rukh Khan, Drake, Bachman, Salman Khan, Instagram, SportsCenter, Kevin Hart, Wiz Khalifa,
Kevin Hart.
ESPN, Harry Styles, blah blah blah.
Yes,
Pink,
who's number
blah, blah.
50? Who's the last guy?
Chris Brown.
What?
Number 50.
Chris Brown, like the Rihanna number 4, Chris Brown number 50? Oh,
Correct. Yes.
That
Yes.
must drive him crazy.
I'll bet it does. Yes.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, that means a good thing. That means that you are the winner, Ian. How do you feel about your big win?
Oh, that's awesome.
Now,
that was great.
This whole time you were on the line, could you hear Brian talk still or no?
it was crackly, and then all of a sudden I just walked away from my computer and everything went better. So maybe it was me.
Oh, might have been. That's
Personal
really
interference field
Yeah.
strikes again.
You get the lives in a Faraday cage.
So I don't know. I didn't actually hear what I won, but if it's anything mail related, I'm up in Canada, so you can carry that over or give it away or whatever. But
Oh, okay.
The
Then
digital
in that case, you'll get the Steam code, and I'll throw in a couple extra games for you for that.
Yeah, and that one game you're getting is
awesome.
awesome.
Thank you.
I went all out on how awesome the game is you're getting, so you can feel comfortable in that.
Nice.
Congratulations
Cool.
and well done. It was fantastic having you on, and we'll look forward to perhaps a future
email
one.
me at coverville@gmail.com, and I will mail you your codes.
There it is. Well done. Hey, Dunaway,
If you can hear the sound of my voice.
you almost did it, but you didn't quite. You know what? That was bad. That wasn't a bad call. I would have said, yeah, that's on there. So
Yeah,
Makes
Kanye.
sense.
yeah. And also the Conway.
Oh, the
Conway
one-
Twitty. Is
the,
Conway Twitty on there?
Conway. Conway West. Love it.
Anyway, I'm still shocked by that. How is Kanye
Yeah.
not on this freaking list? He must have quit
I bet
for a
it's
while.
just that he
or
doesn't tweet or something.
something weird like
as
that.
much. He hasn't tweeted apparently since January 1st.
Oh well, then
Wow.
he's got nothing to say then.
Right.
What does he have
Did
to
he
say?
before?
Do you remember that time? It's one of my favorite moments ever. He's in the White House and he's showing off his phone or his followers or something, and he
His
turns it
idea-
to him.
He's showing Trump his idea for a self-flying plane or something.
It was
can't remember
something
what it
like
was.
that,
It was
exactly. But what was great is he turned the phone to him and then realized he didn't put his code in yet, so he quadruple zeros the code and it gets in.
Yeah. Yep.
His code is 0000.
Which is only relative, I guess, if you have physical access to his phone, right? So I mean, that's really the only danger of it.
I guess, but dude, have a real code. Come on. It's 40. It's actually 6 zeros now.
Notice how I'm defending it. Don't look at mine.
Yeah, mine is definitely more complicated than that. Anyway, that was great. I enjoyed the hell out of that. Brian Dunaway, anything cool happening to you before the end of this week that you want to mention? You got any other shows going on? We did the Boop Show on Monday. That was fun.
Wow. Yeah, we're doing The Gate this weekend. Can't wait to do that on Film Sack and watch that. I've seen it before, but I'm looking forward to watching it again. I'll be Twitch streaming tonight, playing some video games around 6 p.m. my time.
Wow.
It's gonna be good time.
You guys should
I
check
don't
that
know what
out.
I'm gonna play, Scott.
I
Maybe
know.
I should play that Dung Beetle.
You should play that Dung Beetle game. Yeah, that game's great. It really is good. It's tricky and makes you think, but it's also fun. It's super delightful. It's just a wonderful little thing. And no Eternal Vision Studio. It's just The Gate, a 1987, was it, Brian?
87, correct?
Yeah,
87?
87. Yeah, I think so.
It's this thing Brian found who
And I saw in theaters, and I'd forgotten about it until I saw it pop up as a recommended film after we watched Creepshow. I'm like, oh my god, The Gate! And then I watched the trailer again. I said, oh, this
Yeah.
is so perfect for.
I think I saw it on HBO or Showtime or something back in the day.
I've never
Yeah.
even heard of it. It's brand new to me, so I'm so excited about it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's part of Sacktober, which is also coincidentally our 10-year anniversary of Film Sack. So do check that out. Brian Dunaway, the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. Have a good one and get more followers. You need to be up in the top 50. Bye now.
At least
Cut him right out of there. All right, we are going to save all of this news and this little top of the thing for tomorrow. We're going to do that all tomorrow
Wow. Okay.
because there's no timer on it.
No.
So we'll do that tomorrow. We'll come back in a second, though, with Tom because he's got tech stuff to talk about, and we're going to go deep on whatever's happening in the world of tech news today. Also, Recommendals with Nicole. Very excited about this one because I watched a thing that has been a very long time coming. Brian's got a thing he says we're going to all love.
Oh,
I
so
don't
good.
I don't know if I've ever been this excited about Recommendals.
I know.
It's like Christmas in here.
It is.
Also, why did nobody tell me that the video version of the show that I put up on YouTube after, that all of our voices are so delayed from our faces? No one's been telling me this. And I guess
really?
for weeks, possibly months, the codec changed in the way I output video, but I don't go check them. I just post them. So no one said
Yeah,
anything.
you're not gonna. Who has time to watch? You don't have time to watch all the videos that we put up from the show.
No. And they're only like 400 people or something on YouTube, so it's not like a big deal, but still. Anyway.
Yeah. Come on, you're supposed to be our eyes and ears, people.
Yeah. Can we get a check over here? We're lifting weights. What's it called? Body check. No. What do you do when someone lifts weights? Check me? Is that it? No, not check me.
Sure.
They say, what do they call that when
Spot
you're
me.
Spot me. That's
Spot
it.
me.
Spot me.
Yeah.
Spot me. All right, Brian, let's now go deep into the world of song breaks. What do you have for us this week or this day?
We're going to New York. We are going to New York for this one. I just had to double check and make sure. Yeah, tomorrow we're going to Australia. Today we're going to New York. Junior. I guess they got inspired, or I guess their full name is Dale Earnhardt Jr., have released a brand new single, just came out this week from their label imprint Love Is Easy Records. It's a partnership with Secretly Distribution. They're actually going to be putting together a few projects and releasing it on this label. Josh Epstein and Daniel Zott are the musicians behind this, Junior. This song is so fun. It's called Magic. You're really going to enjoy this. Here are Junior and Magic.
Hey, Bachagaloop. This is Mary from Oklahoma. I'm totally not Gidget. And you're listening to the morning stream.
They're crazy.
Will they ever get off this damn island? This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the Program O. I have a thing to thank Tom for when he comes on today. I think that we're
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
something very specific that he doesn't even know he does, or maybe doesn't know that he meant to do. But we're gonna
Doesn't realize. Okay.
yeah, but we're gonna thank him for it nonetheless. Here's his theme.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is Tom Merritt. And Tom, before you say anything, I have to thank you for a thing that you don't even know that you do here on the show. Would you like to hear what that is?
Is it when I go all the time between things I say?
No. Is that a thing you do? I've never noticed that before. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's totally a thing I do.
No, I don't know why, but it never
That's
occurred
not
to
it,
me.
though, huh?
No, that's not it.
Apparently.
Here's what it is, because when I scramble to add somebody to the show, whether it's Dunaway or Schleicher or Justin or whoever, alphabetically, they're down the list. So I got to do a quick search when I do the ad. And this has always been true back in the Skype days. It doesn't matter when, it's always been true. But Ace Detect, right there. Right there at the top, and I don't have to do anything. I just hit add, and you're the first of the A's. Click on you, you're in. It's the greatest.
Finally, someone has recognized my true reason for that ridiculous username.
It's so good. Anyway, so there's that small little bit. But more importantly, Tom comes on the show on Wednesdays, talks about the tech news of the day for the Daily Tech News Show coming up later in the day. I'm on those days, so it's kind of worked out perfect that way. Today is no different. Tom, what's going on in the world of technology?
Yeah, well, it's just me and you today. Sarah Lane has the day off. She's got a gig going on. So it'll be me, you, and Roger talking about the Microsoft Surface announcements. Now, this is going to be an interesting talk about the new Surface laptop, the new Surface Book. You know, they're convertible with the pull-away keyboard, and there's some lovely things to talk about them. They've made some nice improvements. They look like great machines. I'm a little bit, I always have that little like, well, maybe I should get one of those. But the thing they blew everyone away with, especially considering that Evan Blass, who's very good at catching leaks, leaked almost everything Microsoft announced today, except Microsoft getting back into phones.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Tell me more.
Do we not learn from our mistakes?
Well, actually, yes, they sort of learned. It's an Android phone. It's not a Windows phone.
Okay.
But it's called the Surface Duo, a dual screen Android phone with two 5.6-inch displays that just kind of fold up.
Wow. I don't know what to make of this. This is shocking news to me. Like, I didn't know Microsoft would ever dip their toe in that again. And it makes sense kind of that they would. But I think all of us were just like, oh, boy, that didn't work out great last time. Maybe they'll just avoid phones forever and just do services on it. Or services, not surfaces. They'll just work on their surfaces. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. What a weird change in the wind.
Now, there weren't a lot of details because this product is not coming until holidays 2020. So we'll find out a lot more about it next year. But they said they're working closely with Google. They will, of course, have a Microsoft experience, which there has been a sort of a Microsoft version of Android out there previously where you pre-installed Office apps and stuff like that. So it's not a shocker that this would be that operating system, but they made a big deal, and this leaked about the Surface Neo also coming next year, which is a foldable sort of, I guess you call it a tablet, a dual screen tablet. That's pretty nifty looking. It has a Bluetooth keyboard that you just plop on one of the screens, and then it recognizes it and turns what's left of the screen into a trackpad, so you can just use it like a laptop.
Oh, that's kind of cool. It just sits on the screen like
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Just kind of, I think it must have some magnets or something because it looked like it just kind of clicked, right on.
That's kind of cool.
The Surface Neo was leaked, so nobody was shocked about that, but it was nice to see that dual screen laptop. However, they basically just said, well, we just made a smaller version of that. We're calling it the Duo, and we built in some phone functionality, and it runs Android.
So I assume this is a heavily modified version of Android, probably. I mean, we don't know, but
I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be, just your plain old Android with Microsoft stuff pre-installed. But yeah, maybe they came up with their own sort of the way Samsung does or HTC with their own, interface on top of it. We'll have to wait and see. I couldn't tell from the screenshots myself if there was any heavy customizations. I didn't notice anything like that. Also, the Surface Neo comes with a brand new version of Windows called Windows 10X, which, if you've been hearing about a Windows Lite rumor kicking around, this seems to be that. And Windows 10X, of course, optimized to handle the two screens. So it can automatically recognize when you pop that Bluetooth keyboard on. It can span apps across the two screens elegantly. It launches apps in whatever screen you activate it from, stuff like that. So there is a sort of another version of Windows announced here, along with the Surface Neo as well.
So has anyone gone and just poked Steve Ballmer and made sure he's okay? Because the reason I asked that, he's nothing to do with Microsoft, running Microsoft now, but the idea that we are now in a Microsoft era where Edge is a Chromium-based browser, they have a phone that will run Android. Like, this has got to be, that's like, couldn't be more different than the Ballmer era of Microsoft. Like, we are in a whole new zone.
Yeah, sure. Ballmer's like, go Clippers. I don't really care anymore.
Yeah,
as long as my stock keeps going up.
That's true.
Good,
probably
good
doesn't,
on you. Yeah.
Probably doesn't care, but yeah, it's such a stark difference from those days.
Yeah, Ballmer's gone from developers to development of my basketball players.
Yeah. Well, good luck to him.
Yeah, Dice Tomato was asking if this is a Windows experience intended for ARM. Yes. I do believe the Surface Neo runs on ARM, but also the Surface X, the Surface Pro X, has an ARM chip inside of it. In fact, that's another little interesting bit of news. Microsoft partnered with Qualcomm to create a chipset called the SQ1 that runs Windows 10 for ARM. Windows 10 for ARM is not new. Windows 10 for ARM has been kicking around for a couple of years, but they wanted to make a processor that was optimized to run it. Windows 10 for ARM just does some code execution on the fly to translate instruction sets, and it works pretty well. It's been working pretty well for a long time. But yeah, it looks like the Windows 10 X is another of the Windows operating systems meant for ARM. That Windows SQ1, or I'm sorry, not Windows, the Microsoft SQ1 chipset with Qualcomm on board is pretty interesting too, because it's a little bit Microsoft doing what Apple does with its A chips, except it's not all in-house. They're partnering with like I said, Qualcomm.
Yeah, and no word on like a refresh of the Studio, Surface Studio desktop.
They did not. No, they did not mention the Surface Studio, though they did have a lot of updates about the Surface Slim Pen, which comes with the Surface Pro X. Charges wirelessly when slotted into the Surface Pro X type cover keyboard, can do inline edits in Word, including crossing out words to delete. it's funny. This announcement, they kind of couched in the terms of Microsoft is about creators. We're focusing on creators and people who do creation. And they had a lot to say about art, but a lot of the announcements were about Office.
Yeah.
A lot of the announcements were about Word and Excel. In fact, they announced some headphones, the Surface Buds, that are optimized for Microsoft Office. I'm sorry, the Surface headphones, not Surface Buds. They offer the ability to do PowerPoint slide forwarding and voice transcription, live translation, etc. So creators who are working in Office, I guess, is really what this is after.
Surface
cool,
Buds.
actually,
It
yeah.
sounds like a sequel to Chud, where the survivors on, on top of
No,
the
just-
Surface Buds.
Right, like a post-apocalyptic buddy comedy.
Yeah,
right. Like
yeah. Yeah, where
Owen
this-
Wilson and Shawn Michael Scott or whatever his name
You're
is.
talking about a thing I would so watch. Oh my gosh, I would watch that.
Surface Buds.
With the Surface Buds. That's amazing.
I really wanted it to be called Surface Buds, I guess. In the back of my head.
Pretty good. But I'm interested in all of that, obviously, for obvious reasons. But maybe, there has been a pretty sizable shift artist-wise from the tools they used to use to iPad Pros and pencils. It's kind of become the thing. For every major illustrator I know, for people working on comics, they're all going that direction. And so maybe this is them saying, yeah, it seems like maybe smaller isn't so much a problem. Maybe this new foldable will be the answer, or Microsoft's answer to that. Like, this is a cool piece of art business that would compete in that very direct market. And I would love to get my hands on one and try it and see how it is. But.
Yeah. The one thing that they did talk about that I think is pretty relevant to you is using the Surface Pro X pen with Adobe. Adobe's going to support Creative Cloud apps to work with the pen and work on the Surface Pro X.
Nice.
And so they had some really, really impressive demonstrations of inking on there that I thought you probably would be interested in.
Good. They need that because the biggest problem with all of these devices in the past, Microsoft makes a very laggy pen experience. It's not great. The latency kind of sucks, especially on the Studio, and the Studio 2 just never quite nailed it. Otherwise, I'd probably own one of these because it's perfect in every other form factor. But without that one piece, it's not great. And this could be a turning point. So I'm excited. They obviously way short on details, but I would like to go to one of the. We have a Microsoft store here locally. I'd like to go and play with this when it comes out. Do we have dates or anything? Release dates?
Surface Duo and the Surface Neo both are early announcements. They made a lot of dramatic, like, well, we really shouldn't be telling you this early. It makes me so nervous, but we want to show you where we're going. So yeah, we're not heavy on details on those until next year.
All right. I think it's exciting though. I like Microsoft hardware. I think the stuff's cool and nice to see them branching and going in new ways. This and much more will be on display today on the Daily Tech News Show, today at 2:30 Mountain Time. I'll be there to help Tom out and be there. I'll be the guy. I'll be the other guy. There'll be three guys. Three guys today. And so we'll miss Sarah terribly, but it'll be great. Tom, anything else happening you'd like to mention before we go?
Sure. If folks want to just, find out what I'm doing these days, one of my favorite ways to keep people up to date is my newsletter. I write a little note to people saying like, hey, here's what I did this week. Here's some of the fun things I thought were the most fun. Here's what I've been writing lately. And then I mail it out on Friday afternoons, and you can respond to it if you want. Just say hi, and we can have a little chat, baby. So go sign up for that at freetomnewsletter.com.
Tom Merritt, everybody, Ace Detect on Twitter, and the number one A name in my list. Take it easy, and we'll see you this afternoon. All right.
Nice.
Off he goes.
He is number one.
Isn't he, though?
He is. He's number one.
He's number one in our book. Oh, whoops. For some reason, you're not full screen, but now you are. Now you are. All right, we're going to call Nicole. We're going to make this happen. We're going to go down a road known as the Recommendal Road by Sweet...
Recommendal Road.
Nicole Spagnolo, all the way from Colorado, her own self. She is on the line right now. Hi, Nicole.
Can you hear me?
We can.
You can. Yes.
You can
Can
yell.
you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
just
okay,
fine.
good.
I'm not prepared for today.
Oh, you're not prepared. That's fine.
Frantically looking for a movie I've watched like at some point in my life.
That's all right. We like winging it here on the old podcast.
I've been playing Borderlands 3. That's all I've been doing.
Oh, I was going to
That's
ask
your
you.
recommendal. I recommend Borderlands 3.
I was gonna ask if you were gonna get into that or not, because that was back in the day when we were doing final score and stuff. We were playing that all the time. 2 anyway. 2 was a big deal during that time. So I assume
2,
you're.
and then they did the prequel and
Yeah. The prequel I hated. I hated that third thing.
I loved it.
It's awful. The moon thing where you had to jump right between them. Oh, I hated it.
Dude, I loved the way that you could just kind of and you get to do that in a little bit in Borderlands.
I knew that there was one person somewhere who really liked that third game, and it turns out it was you. So good job, well done. But then the thing they did for Telltale was awesome. The writing was so good.
Awesome.
It was so good. But I just can't get excited about 3. Is 3 good? Do you like it?
I love it. So if since you played the Telltale game, you know Reese, you know Vaughn, all those characters reappear in 3.
Does it bum you
into the story?
Does it bum you out that Troy Baker didn't get, or because of the union stuff, he didn't end up being Reese again? He was some other dude. Does that bug you at all?
You know what? He did sound different. I didn't realize it was a different voice actor because everything's just a little off in 3. I mean, not to the point where I'm not enjoying it, but there's little things that I'm like, I don't remember that sounding like that. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably why. But
that does bum me out.
I'm glad people are into it. I felt like I played hundreds of hours of 2, and so I'm just slow to like want to go do more of that for some reason. I don't know why. I should be stoked about this.
So fun.
I should be losing my mind about it.
I would recommend the Beastmaster because you're a hunter in WoW.
Yeah, I love hunters.
So
sure.
Flack is his name, and you can have a skag, spider ant, or a monkey that shoots a gun as your pet.
Well, you buried the lead. The only one I want is a monkey who shoots a gun.
A monkey that shoots a gun. Who doesn't want a monkey that shoots?
Holy crap. All right, I'm into it.
And
I'm into it more
it's
now.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's good. The grind's good. The loop's good, like getting loot and going to the next place and getting more gun popping out of people and all that. That's still good. Still a winning combo, it sounds like.
I love learning about all the gun manufacturers, and each one has kind of their favorite thing about, how like the Maliwan guns tend to be more techy. Like Jacob's guns are more like Wild West. You gotta kind of manually shoot them. I hate Jacob's guns. I always sell them whenever I get them.
Okay, that's cool.
But I love it. I love the storyline. I love the potty humor. I love the ridiculousness of the whole thing. So yeah, I'm a Borderlands fan.
All right, you always were, so it makes sense that you still are. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, all right, we're gonna do recommendals, even though you may not have a movie yet. Maybe you do.
I'll pull something out.
She'll find something.
I have something.
We're gonna start this week with Brian, and I'm really excited about this because he's giving me some sweet lead up to what we're doing. So explain anything you want to explain, then I'll play your clip.
Yeah, this is something that came out last Friday on Netflix, September 27th. I love it. And I'm surprised how much I love it, considering what it is. And it's been the hardest thing for me not to talk about this on Twitter or mention it to you before, Scott. But I think you're going to really love this. But I think there's so many people in the audience who are going to absolutely love this too.
All right.
And there's no dialogue, so you're going to be playing a little bit of music.
Nice. All right. That means here's what we're going to do, chat room. Twitch is probably not a huge problem. They might mute this in the VOD or something, but YouTube will kill our video. So what I'm going to do, they're going to hate this. I'm going to mute the chat room so you won't hear it. We're going to hear it. Nicole's going to hear it. I'm going to hear it. And the podcast listeners are going to hear it because over there we don't care. And Brian has rights to stuff and we can control it better there. But y'all in the chat room aren't going to hear this song. So I apologize in advance, but here it goes. We're going mute for a second. Okay, I have no idea what that is, but I like it.
I don't either.
Yeah. So this is a brand new thing. Did you bring the chat room?
Yeah, they're back up.
in?
They're back
Okay,
up.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, this is somebody in the chat room even guessed it just based on my description. So Sturgill Simpson is a country performer, like a new country performer.
Mhm.
And you know how I feel about country, right? I'm like, oh God, country music these days.
Yeah.
However, I love Sturgill Simpson. He the first big album, is like his second album that he released, included a cover of The Promise by When in Rome that was really good. His third album had a cover of In Bloom by Nirvana. So he's a country artist that kind of crosses over and does some really cool things. The brand new album is the coolest of those cool things. It's called Sound and Fury, and it is an album that's got a little country to it, but it's mostly like rock, and it's described as dystopian rock. It's also paired with an anime film where each of the songs is imagined by a different animator. And it's post-apocalyptic. It is like Blade Runner meets Akira meets Mad Max. And it is fantastic. And like I watched this thing and then immediately bought the album because the album is so good.
You got me completely interested in this. This sounds like
it's like Gorillaz meets Mad Max meets heavy metal meets.
So what's this called?
Yeah.
And where is it streaming?
It's called Sound and Fury. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Just came out Friday. And
this is what somebody on Twitter was saying. You need to check out Sound and Fury, and I went, I'll figure out whatever they're talking about. This must be what they were talking about.
This is what they were talking about, and it is so good. The music is excellent. It's some parts are very anime, like it is very, very much like Ghost in the Shell and Akira. But boy, the first segment is so world building and cool, and you're going to be hooked. And I kind of wish all the animation was done in that style of the first one, but. Anyway, it's called Sound and Fury.
I cannot wait to watch this. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's called Sound and Fury. It's on Netflix. Sturgill Simpson is the artist behind it, and he's, with very few exceptions, one of the only current country musicians that I really like.
I've never even heard the name. I feel dumb that I've never heard that name before. Sturgill Simpson.
He's he's not like your Brad Paisleys or your Lucas Grahams or your other kind of top of the country charts artists. He seems like he's one of these guys that does country but doesn't belong in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I
get that.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
he's a Kentucky boy. Does that make a difference? Shaggy Mama or Shaggy Maha in chat says he's a Kentucky boy. Does that change the whole thing? That's interesting.
Shaggy Mama.
Oh, he's like
Shaggy
today's
Mama.
Chris Christopherson, says Jedi 7.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he was pretty cool. He was a different dude in terms of he was country, but he was something else too at the same time.
Like
I don't
Johnny
know.
Cash.
Johnny Cash,
Right,
another good
exactly.
one. Yeah, that's a great one.
I'm double checking. Steel Raven just said I don't see that on Netflix. I'm going to double check here.
Would you
that's where-
classify what's his Achy Breaky Heart guy who did the Old Town Road?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Billy
yeah.
Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray
Would
Cyrus.
I count him as what?
No, count him as a worthless poop. I don't want him. He's no good.
So you know about the so my kid is singing this Old Town Road song all the time.
hate
and I'm
that
like,
song.
What is this song? And I
Yeah.
finally watched it. I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing now.
Hate
I
it.
still don't think I've ever heard the full song. I've only heard clips of it that were used in
I wanna
memes.
take my horse.
That's the clip I hear. Yeah. Riding on my truck, riding on the truck.
I hate it.
Yeah.
My kid loves this song. It's like,
Everyone
it's
did.
like,
That
oh,
thing
it's
was
my
at number
jam.
one for like, I don't know how long, months. It was at number one. It's
Yeah.
a horrible song. I can't find. Oh, here it is. Sturgill
It's
Simpson
on here.
presents
Sturgill
Sound and
Simpson
Fury.
presents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you search for Sturgill Simpson presents Sound and Fury on Netflix, you will find it, and it's great.
Or just Google Sound and Fury Netflix. That's the first thing that comes up. Also, there's an old documentary in 2000 called Sound and Fury. That is not what you're looking for. It's not what you want.
Nope, don't watch that. Don't watch that while you listen to the Sturgill Simpson album because things won't line up and it won't make sense.
It won't make any sense to you at all. All right. Well, that sounds great. I cannot wait to watch this. I am totally going to.
So Spartacus 903 brings up something that I forgot. Did you guys watching The Masked Singer?
No, I haven't watched any of this season, but I did get sucked into that train wreck last season.
I loved it. I love it. My kid loves it. We watch it. They the two that were voted off, I'll only talk about one. It's a little bit of spoiler, but really, if you haven't watched it, who cares?
That's true.
You know who Ninja is, right?
Yeah, the Ninja
Fortnite
streamer guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I thought there was one guy who was dressed as as a ninja on The Masked Singer.
No, Ninja is dressed as an ice cream, and he sings Old Town Road.
Really?
And he gets voted off.
Good. Good. That was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yes,
My gosh,
exactly.
dude. What is that about? I don't like that at all.
Well deserved.
Yeah. Not a fan. Yeah. I mean, I think Ninja's fine, but I'm not a fan of that Masked Singer thing. Not into it.
I love it. What are you talking about?
It's just not into it. It's just like,
It's such a
hey,
train wreck.
it seems like a train wreck. I don't want train
I
wrecks.
kind of
right
wish
now.
Jenny McCarthy wasn't on it, but other than
Yeah,
that,
Jenny McCarthy is so clueless that last season at one point, I think she even thought that she might be one of the people in one of the costumes on stage that she was watching.
Well, she'd probably accuse the guy in the costume of trying to give her kids shots or something. She's crazy. She's crazy.
Backs her kids, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that Robin Thicke guy, is he still on that?
Yeah, he's still on it.
Oh,
And
Robin
so
Thicke. I
is,
wondered where he was.
Dr. Ken.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr. Ken is
Ken.
the only reason to watch that, if you ask me.
I like him a lot.
And then the Pussycat Doll girl.
Oh, right. Schlesinger.
Nicole.
Schlesinger. Yeah. A lot of S's in her name.
Yeah, I can't
I
do
like
Jenny
it.
McCarthy.
It's fun. I'm always
Schlesinger.
curious.
I know I made that joke before Leninade, but it's one of my greatest hits.
It holds.
So every once
It
in a while,
holds
you gotta
up.
Pull out the greatest hits.
No, it holds up.
Exactly.
It's fine. I don't have a problem with you playing it. You should always rip that one out.
Scherzinger, that's right. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play this clip, and then you guys are going to figure out what it is. The only hint is, well, the two hints are it's on Prime, and the other hint is it's ancient, but really
What
good.
is it on?
I
just heard.
Oh, sorry, Prime, Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I hear. Here's your clip. Here you go.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Get to the line.
Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do the full thing because I didn't want to give it
Get
away.
to the line. Get to the line.
Yeah. I was going to do the I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Take it anymore.
So does anyone know? Do you know, Nicole, what that is?
I don't know. Somebody said old timey movie.
It's not even that. Well, I mean, it's old now, but it's 1976.
Oh.
Yeah, 76. Sidney Lumet, or is it Lumet? How do you say his name? I don't know if you
I
pronounce the
say
full.
Lumet, but
All right.
but I've heard it pronounced both ways.
What's the movie?
It's
called Network.
Network.
Yes, that is correct. Network is a movie that I've been told for decades I should watch, and that still holds up and is one of the best movies in the 70s, and that it's required watching if you're a film fan. So I thought, you know what? There it is
It's
on
not
Prime.
streaming. It's not on Prime anymore.
Oh, it was like as of 3 days ago. Really?
Oh, wow.
It's October now.
That might
So-
be it. Yeah, it probably cleared out in October. That sucks because
You
people
can-
should watch it. It's so good.
You can rent it now.
It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a movie, and I don't even know how to quite describe it, but dialogue is ahead of its time. The actors, Faye Dunaway's in it, and probably maybe the best thing she ever did.
Lumet, by the way.
Lumet
we've
is how
been
you say it?
corrected by the chat room. Yeah.
Okay. I'd heard it both ways as well. I've heard people say it two ways, and I've always said
Yeah.
I didn't know, I guess. But it is really good, and it holds up. It is 70s as hell, don't get me wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say now that I've seen it, I would say this and All the President's Men are the two 70s movies that I feel like just everyone should still see And I don't just mean because of current events. I mean because they're just good. Like it represents
It just
like
feels
this,
like it's an important movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels important, and it was done so well, and it's also kind of crazy, and there's so much about it that I didn't expect, and I ended up loving every second of it. I thought it was amazing. The core story is it's about a network, one of the big networks in the country, and they mention all the real networks, so it's almost like they're the fake. It reminds me of a Vegas movie, Brian, where there's a fake casino called the,
right, where they talk about all the other casinos, and
it's like, oh, it's the El Royale, and they always say it's with all these other casinos. It's like that kind of. It's a fake network, but they just go into how it's no longer about straight news. It's no longer about straight entertainment. It's about riling people up and creating cult of personality. And if anything, it's like a allegory to what basically Fox TV is these days, in a lot of ways. And it's really interesting. It's not a feel-good, happy movie by any stretch, but it's a pretty fascinating piece of work. So I would recommend it wholeheartedly. And I'm super bummed to hear it's not on streaming right now because it was 3 days ago. And I just happened upon it. I was like, what can I watch for recommendals this week? Beep, bap, boop. I saw the Bill Gates thing. I could talk about that, but maybe I want a movie this time. Oh, there it is. A thing I never saw. So I watched it. Anyway, Nicole, what did you find in the time we were talking?
It's funny. So what you just talked about, kind of that time period, made me think about something that Mateo's been watching on his Netflix account called The World's Weirdest Homes.
Oh, I saw this somewhere. Netflix also, right?
He loves watching this. It's like a little 48-minute show, and they go through like their top 10 weirdest homes, and there's like a dog, a house that's shaped like a dog. But there was one, it's a bunker in Las Vegas, and it was built in the 70s, and it cost $25 million to make. It's all underground, and they built it because of the Cold War. And at the time, they really thought, bombs were coming. So everybody's preparing. And I was just talking to Mark about, man, could you imagine like being that scared at that time that you're building bunkers? Like it would be.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's crazy. And so they showed this amazing underground. It has an indoor pool. And it kind of reminded me of that movie with, what the heck?
The Truman Show?
No, not the Truman Show, where they're underground. Brandon Fraser comes up.
Oh, yeah.
What's that called?
Right.
I don't know.
Blast from the Past.
Blast from the Past.
It reminds me of that, to be honest with you. So they have this whole, they have an indoor, outdoor, underground thing.
Right.
But they show this house in this show, and it made me think of that time frame.
Yeah, I love.
Right, so that was my.
I love those kinds of things. Whatever his curiosity is, I also have about just wacky houses, like ones that are in trees, ones that are underground, ones that are like built out of the bones of your enemies or whatever it is, like whatever strange thing.
They have like alien houses, and then they have some that are like built like a snake.
Yeah.
One that's an airplane. One that's a
that.
boat.
Don't know why I love it. I just love it. There's something about it. So. Me and Mateo, birds of a feather, flock together.
Yeah, it's called World's Weirdest Homes. It's on Netflix. So
nice.
There's a little bonus.
All right.
So here's my recommendal. So when I get busy and I get doing other things, I don't know when someone gave this to us, but there is a bookmark that I have that takes Netflix movies and it categorizes them, because I don't like how Netflix pushes stuff to me. Like I like to dig a little deeper.
Sure.
And it's just called Netflix streaming by alternate genres. So I'm going to put a link.
Right,
you remember this?
I do. Yeah.
So
and it had codes or something too, right? Like
so you can go into under action adventure, and then it goes Asian action movies, classic action movies, action comedies, action thrillers. I mean, it gets very granular.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the mood for a particular, I might be in the mood for a comedy, but I want a dark comedy, it really kind of breaks it down that way. So I'll put the link in the Twitter account today because it's really great. I use it all the time. and I love it because Netflix just likes to show you what it wants to show you, and it's usually pushing its own stuff. So I found the movie that I'm going to recommend through that, and I'm trying to find. Here's the clip. I'll give you the clip, Scott.
Okay.
I'm scrolling down.
Okay, Brian will scroll. I will click.
And I'll just say I hated this movie, and I still kind of don't like it.
Okay.
But
there's something about it. There's something there.
Yeah, there's something about it.
Yeah. I now that I'm seeing it, I think I know what it is. I didn't look at the name, but
yeah.
If it's what I think it is, I have the exact same feelings about it. Anyway, here it is. Let's play this. Here we go.
New card. What do you think?
Whoa. Very nice.
Patrick, you're so sweet.
Jean,
Yes, Patrick?
would you like to accompany me to dinner? Sabrina, why don't you dance a little? Christy, get down on your knees. We're not through yet. That's a wonderful suit.
Okay.
Does Huey Lewis make an appearance in this film?
Yes, Huey Lewis does make an appearance in this film.
His music does anyway.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, it's an older movie with Christian Bale called American Psycho and is currently streaming on Netflix. And I was going through, I'm looking through all the movies, and that is one that just kind of sits in my head. And I think I've seen it a number of times. And I've even watched, like, what does it mean? Because when you first watch it, you don't know, you've never read the book, you've never really heard about the story. It's really confusing. So there are a lot on YouTube. If you look up, like, American Psycho Explained, it kind of talks about, like, the meaning of the business card, the meaning of who Patrick is. Did this really happen? Like, what's going on? So it's, the whole movie is a mind mess.
Yeah. You don't want to say the F word?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. We get you. No, you're right. It's an allegory for a lot of different stuff. It's a really freaky. It's freaky deaky, man.
It's so weird, and I hated it the first time I watched it, and it's a very uncomfortable movie. But once you start to kind of break it down and kind of see the yuppie and all of that, and how nobody really knows who anyone is, and it's all superficial, and there's some meaning to the movie. A friend of mine, I had never read the book, and a friend of mine was like, yeah, the book's like crazy.
Yeah. Do you think do you think somebody saw this movie and went, you guys, I think we have our Batman? Like, do you think it went like that?
Is that the Newsies guy?
Yeah. Like, that's the kid from Empire of the Sun. Let's hire him to be Batman. Yeah.
We talked on the Vampire's Kiss episode of Film Sack about yuppie, like how there was this backlash against yuppies in the 80s and how it was like so made fun of. Lawyers in Love and these movies like this. This feels like the most recent one of these, even though this wasn't that recent, but it feels like a recent one of these.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Someone in the chat room earlier said this is basically the sequel to Vampire's Kiss, that weird thing we saw, and it's funny to think that it kind of turned into that, but it was sort of playing with the same tropes, right?
Through all the
but it plays with the same tropes of, like, yuppie society and Wall Street types are hideous, and that whole thing seems to be the sort of playground here, but it's a really weird thing. I feel like I always felt like maybe I should read that novel because it was so well thought of. Everyone loves that novel. But then I saw the movie and went, I don't want more of this. I don't want to see.
Yeah, no, it gets even worse from what, like, my friend told me there's like a rat scene, and I'm like, that's okay. I'll just watch the movie.
Yeah. A rat scene, not with the band. You mean like with the rodent, right? With the rodent?
Like, yeah, the rat.
Because if it was the band, I'd be all in. I'd be into it.
That scene just goes round and round, and what comes around goes around.
Here I am. Or is that her?
That's scorpions.
That's scorpions.
That's fine.
I'm getting my insects and rodents mixed up.
Never put a rat and a scorpion in the same cage. They always tell you that. Well, that's yeah. I saw that on there, and then went, "Ooh, should we watch that?" And then I said, "No, probably not." But if you've never seen it and you're an adult and you want to kind of get the allegory, it's kind of weirdly brilliant in that way, but it's also just horrendous. Yeah. So,
Jared Leto's in it.
Oh yeah, Jared Leto's in it. So is Chloe Sevigny. Is that how you say her name? Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah,
is that her? I like her. She's compelling in everything.
Savier?
She is.
I don't know.
Whatever, however you say her name.
Savier. Sure.
Yeah, Savier.
Where'd you say this is streaming on Prime?
Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Cool. William Dafoe and Reese Witherspoon are in it as well.
Oh yeah, Reese Witherspoon.
Really?
Brian, you love her chin. You'll be all in.
Favorite. Yeah, all over it. I'm all over it.
Yeah, into that chin,
So
yo.
2000. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but 19 years ago.
Wow.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that seems long.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, but I guess that's 2000. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
19
just
years.
Yeah. I just have to look at Nick and remind myself what year it is. That's freaking weird.
Crazy.
All right. Well, Nicole, always
there
a pleasure to sit and chat with you. And of course, if people want to follow Nicole Spag on Twitter, you'll put this stuff up there as well, so people know where to go.
Yep.
It's Nicole Spag, everybody.
That's right.
Yep. What else?
Yep.
Anything else? You got anything else to say? Wisdom? Anything?
Woodworkers Fighting Cancer is still going on. We have the build video out, and the auctions are still going. Can you get this? So I make quilts.
Yeah.
And I made a quilt for Woodworkers Fighting Cancer. Someone has bid $1,100 on my quilt.
Whoa.
I am just so flattered.
That's amazing. So cool. Yeah, that's very cool. That's really cool.
And 100% of that's going to Cancer Research Institute, which I'm super happy about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's really cool. Nice job. Yeah. You make really good quilts, so I'm not surprised, but also it's a great cause, and so awesome all around.
Oh, thanks.
What is Sidian talking about? How much does milk cost? $100? What is he talking about? I was like, wait a minute, what? Milk?
He's doing Rain Man, but I don't know what from or why Rain Man.
Oh, is that what that's from?
I think so, yeah.
I don't remember. Anyway, quilting. Catch it.
Yes.
It's Nicole Spag, everybody. We'll see you later. All right.
So funny.
That is funny. We got a couple quick things here at the bottom of the show.
Yeah.
First of all, let's get this up and out there. Coverville's today. I assume the Lindsey Buckingham thing is on. What's going on?
That's exactly what it is. Yep. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter show because I've got some stuff I have to fix regarding Coverville citizenship thing. I might have borked everything yesterday afternoon in moving stuff over to a new server. So I've got to figure out what to do with that. But at least 2 sets of covers of and by Lindsey Buckingham. 1 set of Fleetwood Mac, 1 set of solo stuff. So check that out. 1 p.m. today, twitch.tv/Coverville.
To end today's proceedings, I'd like to read this email from Dusty Ward. By the way, I found out yesterday that Kirk Douglas, not Kirk Douglas, who's I can't think.
Michael Douglas?
No, the other one.
Kirk Cameron.
Dude who was the dad in the last Guardians movie. What's wrong with me?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Jeez Louises. Kurt Russell's stunt double for his Escape from New York movie. That guy's name was Dick Warlock. How cool is that?
Oh, that's almost the coolest name.
Almost. Dick Warlock. So good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Dick Warlock.
You just reminded me of that. This guy's name did. Dusty Ward wrote in, and he said this. The subject is what Jesus drives, because we talked a bunch about that yesterday.
Oh, sure. Right. Yes.
He says, hey, sacrilege and blasphemy.
Well done.
Well done. You get extra points for that. On TMS Tuesday, you missed the obvious on what Jesus would drive. A Subaru Crosstrek. Love the show, though. Mr. Ludi is what he goes by nickname-wise.
Yes.
Do you get it? Crosstrek?
Cross. Yeah, sure. Cross.
But it's
Trekking
also
with a cross on his back.
It's also kind of a hippie car, you know?
Right.
A little bit, so
Very
it's perfect
much
for that.
Boulder, you go to Boulder, and it's Subarus as far as the eye can see.
Yeah, I think, honestly, between Park City and Boulder, we supply all Subaru sales for the United States.
80% of all the Subarus. That's right.
There's so many over there. Part of it's because of the snow. You can tackle the snow better, but also they're freaking hippie cars. Anyway, I like Subarus too, by the way. They're cool. But, you know, Dice Tomato has one. Very nice. He loves his Subaru.
Yeah.
Go out and...
I don't know. I get behind one and it feels like I dropped 20 miles per hour. It's like they're all, every Outback with that hunter green camo brown combo just cannot push their gas pedal down.
Can't do it hard
as
enough.
Much as regular car.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Yeah, your testosterone drops 20%.
That's right, exactly.
Oh, that reminds me. I think today's... No, that's next week. I get another T shot next week.
Ooh, T shot.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
You sure they didn't screw that blood test up and maybe your tea is just fine?
Now I don't know anymore about anything. I mean, they probably got it all. I didn't even think of that. I don't want to think of that. Those bastards. I don't want to even deal with it. I am going to see a show fan and podcaster extraordinaire in his own right, Will Harris, tonight.
Will Harris, yeah.
Passing through Salt Lake City. We're going to go to dinner tonight and hang out a little bit. Nice. And then he'll be off to California. I think he's going to see Tom and a few other of our LA friends while he's out there. And I think he saw Schwood in his new place and maybe saw Jury. Or no, maybe he's going to see Jury this weekend. Something like that. The guy gets around. He's doing well. Anyway, nice. Will Harris is a good guy. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you should. Will with one L. That's the important thing.
Yes. Otherwise, you get a whole different Will.
That's right. And you don't want that. You do want to go help us. Support us at patreon.com/TMS. That's a great place to go and a great place to support your favorite show. That's patreon.com/TMS. And if you're looking for any other way to get a hold of us, emails, all that sort of stuff, we'd love them. We welcome them. You can find that at frogpants.com/TMS. Tomorrow we'll have another show. I don't know what we're doing yet with Wendy, but something. And also got some phone calls to play that have been building up. I need to get to those. So we'll be those
cool. I love it. I love it when we get phone calls.
Yep, that'll be great. All right. I also love it when we play a song at the end of the show, so maybe you can accommodate me on that.
Yes, I can. Elizabeth Collins wrote in, said, "Hey, Sebastian and Baloo. Last year for my birthday, I got the awesome gift of getting to meet Scott and Kim at GDEX in Columbus. Scott gave me a giant hug and a shout out on the show that made my day. So how do I top that this year for my 30th birthday? Well, for the first time ever, I'm going to Disney World. Oh. So I was wondering if Mr. Ibbotson could bibbity bobbity boo me a Disney cover to celebrate my oldness. Love you both, Elizabeth, Beffy Dino in the chat."
Nice.
Well, of course I can. And by golly, your mention of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo made me jump right to that as a song. It came from Cinderella originally. And the cover I have came out on a 2002 album called Dive into Disney. Listen, folks, it's been a while since I've given you a Japanese cover. And if you're going to have some strong Japanese accents in a song that you can't understand, let's make it Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo. Here is from 4106 Yuki TDC Masa.
Nice.
It's their cover of Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
See you guys tomorrow. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Brian Ibbotson.
That's you. That's you, Brian.
Brian Ibbotson.
Uh-huh. With his big unit.
Leo Laporteman.
Well, it's, incorrect names you trust from people you love.
Right.
Something like that.
Names you mispronounce from people you used to trust. This is Twit.
Well said. All right. We are going to do what are we doing? We're doing a thing.
Titles.
Yeah,
Titles.
Brian Ibbott.
Yeah. That's him. Got it right that time. Good job. Here's where Shatner sounds like Leo.
I love it. Okay. All right.
Does that not sound like Leo Laporte?
That does sound. Yeah, it totally does.
He's basically Shatner. Okay.
All right.
Whoops. Wow. Where are we here? Hold on. I got